Which PMI certification you should go for as a project manager? So there is the PMP and the PMI-ACP and the CAPM and the PBA, PgMP, PfMP. I know it can be very confusing for you to pick up the one which is best for you. So let me help you find an answer to that in this video. Now look guys, this confusion is completely understandable, okay? PMI or the Project Management Institute offers multiple certifications and each one of them seems important. However, here is the problem. Most project managers make their certification choice based on what's popular or what their colleague recommends, okay? Without even understanding whether that certification actually aligns with their current career stage, industry, or professional goals. And that's a costly mistake, both in terms of time and money. You see guys, choosing the wrong certification can set you back by months, okay? It can waste hundreds of dollars, and worse, it might not even add the value you were expecting in your career out of the certification process, right? Now, on the other side of the spectrum, choosing the right certification at the right time can accelerate your career trajectory, increase your earning potential significantly, and position you as a credible project management professional in your domain. So it's about the right fit at the right time, which will matter for you when you choose the right certification. So in this video, let's cover the 4 key critical factors which you should be aware of and you should evaluate thoroughly before investing your time and money into any PMI certification, okay? And we'll start from the least important ones, moving in order of importance to the most crucial one, which will be factor number 4, which we'll discuss towards the end of this video. So make sure you hang around. So let's dive in. Now let's start with the first critical factor, your current experience level in project management. Now, this is where most project managers go wrong from the very beginning, okay? They chase certifications without understanding whether they even meet the eligibility criteria of the certification, or let's say whether that certification makes any strategic sense for their career stage. See, PMI has designed different certifications for different experience levels, okay? And there is a very good reason for that. So let me break this down into 4 categories based on your work experience as a project manager. First, category number 1, the project managers who has 0 to 3 years of work experience. So if you are in this bracket, CAPM is your best starting point, okay? It requires only a secondary degree and 23 hours of project management education, which is readily available across multiple courses in the industry, okay? So no extensive project management experience is needed if you are willing to go for the CAPM certification at the very early stages of your career. So CAPM as a certification validates that you understand the fundamentals and it gives you credibility when you are applying for junior project manager roles such as project coordinator or assistant project manager or project intern, okay? Next, category number 2, project managers who are having about 4 to 6 years of experience. So this is the sweet spot for PMP certification. You need 36 months or 3 years of project management experience and 35 contact hours of project management education. At this stage, you have led enough projects to understand the real-world challenges, and PMP certification can significantly accelerate your career growth and earning potential at this point, right? Moving on, category number 3, project managers having 7 to 10 years of work experience. Now, if you're in this bracket, you have multiple strategic options depending on your career trajectory. So if you haven't obtained your PMP certification yet, this is still an excellent time to pursue it. You will bring substantial real-world context that makes the certification more meaningful as a senior project manager now. However, on the other side of the spectrum, if you are already PMP certified and you are working in, let's say, agile or hybrid environments, This is the perfect stage to add, let's say, PMI-ACP to your portfolio. It will demonstrate that your versatility as a project manager goes across project methodologies and makes you more valuable in today's dynamic project landscape, okay? Additionally, if you are working in risk-heavy industries like construction, healthcare, or finance, PMI-RMP or risk management professional becomes highly relevant at this experience level. If you are more into, let's say, project scheduling and management, you can also explore PMI-SP or PMI scheduling professional, so on and so forth, okay? So basically, the specialized certification suite within the PMI portfolio should only be considered if they are absolutely relevant to your industry or career aspirations. Finally, category number 4, project managers having more than 11 years of work experience. See guys, if you are in this senior bracket, you should be looking at PgMP, the program management professional, or the PfMP or the portfolio management professional, okay? So these certifications are designed for professionals managing multiple related projects and leading strategic initiatives at an organizational level, okay? So PgMP, for example, requires leading programs worth significant complexity and demonstrates your capability to align project portfolios with business strategy, okay? However, here is something that's very important. Do not rush into certifications of PgMP or PfMP just because you have the years of work experience, okay? You need genuine program management work experience, okay? Not just a senior project management role in your organization, okay? Makes sense? If you're liking the video, guys, please press the like button. Also, if you are preparing for the PMP certification, I would recommend that you check out my 35 PDU PMP exam training course on Udemy. This course is very highly rated amongst the students, and many PMP aspirants have passed their PMP exam with the help of this course. I'll put the relevant links in the description section of this video. Moving on to the second critical factor, okay? Your target industry and project delivery methodology. Now guys, this is extremely important because different industries have very different expectations when it comes to project management certifications, okay? Let me explain with sort of real examples. So if you are working in IT, software development, product management, or startups, the project delivery approach is predominantly agile or hybrid, okay? So in these environments, PMI-ACP carries significant weight because it demonstrates your expertise in Scrum, XP, Kanban, Lean, and other agile frameworks. Hiring managers in tech companies actively look for PMI-ACP certified professionals who can lead the iterative and adaptive delivery models in project management, okay? However, on the other side of the spectrum, if you are in construction, manufacturing, healthcare, infrastructure, etc., or let's say government projects, where projects do follow a more structured, predictive technique, the PMP certification is the gold standard in this scenario because it validates your capability to manage scope, schedule, budget, team, compliance, etc. in highly regulated and set environments. Now, if you are in industries with significant risk exposure, for example, finance, pharmaceutical, oil and gas, or large-scale infrastructure projects, PMI-RMP or risk management professional can become incredibly valuable as part of your CV. So my only advice is to choose a certification relevant to your industry, okay? A good idea would be to benchmark against your peers and seniors and then evaluate what works best for you. All right, let's talk about the third factor, your career goals and timeline. Now guys, this is where you need to be brutally honest with yourself about what you are trying to achieve out of a certification process and by when. See, different certifications serve different career objectives, okay? If your immediate goal is to break into project management or secure your first project management role within the next 6 to 12 months, CAPM is your fastest route. So CAPM has minimal prerequisites, lower costs, and you can realistically prepare for it in the next 2 to 3 months while you are working full-time, okay? However, if you are aiming for mid-level project management positions with significantly better salary prospects, PMP should be your target. The preparation is more intensive than CAPM for sure, and also you would typically need 3 to 6 months of preparation, and on top of it you need to meet the experience requirements for the eligibility criteria of the exam. However, the long-term return on investment in the PMP certification justifies the time and effort and money you put in it, okay? Especially if you are planning a 10 or a 15-year career in project management at the least. Now, here is where strategy becomes quite crucial, okay? So if you are currently at 2 years of work experience as a project manager, let's say, don't waste time and money on CAPM, okay? Instead, focus on gaining that additional 1 year of project management experience to qualify yourself directly for the PMP. That for sure will be a smarter progression pathway if you are right at that borderline between 2 to 3 years with your project management experience. Make sense? On the other side of the spectrum, if you are already a senior project manager eyeing a program management or portfolio management leadership roles, PgMP should be on your 3 to 5 year roadmap as you keep on gaining experience at a mid-senior or a senior project management level. Finally, let's address the fourth factor, and this is something which is often completely overlooked by certification aspirants: your learning style and exam readiness. Now guys, this might surprise you, okay? But understanding your personal learning preferences and realistic assessment of your exam taking abilities can save you from costly failures and frustration at a later date, okay? See, different PMI certifications have very dramatically different difficulty levels, okay? And the exam formats are also quite varied. So for example, CAPM is a 150 question 3-hour exam testing foundational knowledge. It's relatively straightforward if you understand the basics. However, conversely, PMP is a completely different beast. It's 180 questions over 230 minutes with complex scenario-based questions that test application, not just memorization. So I have coached hundreds of aspirants who underestimated PMP's difficulty, failed in their first attempt, and then spent months rebuilding confidence and reappearing for the exam. So that's an expensive mistake to make, both financially and emotionally. And if you have been following me on this channel, I don't want you to fall in that trap in terms of underestimating the difficulty level of the PMP certification exam. Now, while choosing a certification exam, here is what you need to evaluate honestly, okay? So for example, are you comfortable with self-paced learning, or do you need a structured classroom training? Can you dedicate 2 to 3 hours daily with managing your professional life for consistent study over the next 3 to 4 months? Do you handle time pressure well during exams, or do you tend to panic? Because all these questions will help you to find an answer to what kind of training programs and what kind of certifications you would be looking for whilst you are deciding on a certification exam. Because honestly, the way you will be preparing for a CAPM exam will be very, very different than the way you will be preparing for, let's say, a PMP exam, and also it will be very different from the way you will be preparing for the specialized exam suites of PMI, which is, let's say, the PMI-ACP exam or the PMI-ACP exam. So take care of your personal choices, personal preferences, and your career trajectory, as how we have discussed in this video, to decide which certification will suit your profile. Thank you for watching, guys. Please press the like button if you like the video, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon.